Hey guys, so welcome back again. We got this GV80. If I think I remember correctly, I said that when we were trying to diagnose this car, all of a sudden our heater starts working on the passenger side. Right now, the passenger side is not working, so I'm on a high settings right now, heat. It's reading right now 29 degrees on the vents itself. On the other side, it's reading 19, right? So was as per the customer, he was telling the advisor that after they valid the vehicle, the problem came back, but during our diagnosis, all of a sudden it starts working. So I'm on the AC control module right now. We're just gonna see if we can find codes. So there's no codes for that. Let's go for our data stream and see if we can find something. So what we need is, we need coolant air mix temp, driver air mix temp. What else? Engine coolant, evap, passenger air mix, potentiometer. Just make sure that they're all okay there. Okay, so let me, as our numbers right now, driver air mix is reading 93%. That's fully hot. That's on the other driver side. On the passenger side, on the other side, it's reading 93%. Same thing as on the driver's side. So the command is there, but the question now is the actuator got stuck in there? That's the only thing that reading right now. So let's graph this. Let's check our movement. I'm just gonna go low again. Oops. Let's press the sync so both of them are going. So as you can see there, and our driver went down, passenger went down, so they're both low now. I'm gonna read this. So that's reading 22 degrees. Other side 11. It's colder. But right, I guess this is because we were we call this the heat mode earlier. So now I'm gonna put it in a high again. As you can see there, high, right? Changes there. The other side is not, but our signals are changing, right? As you can see there, and on this passenger. And our temperature gun, it's reading 23.9, 23.8. Other side, it's reading 15. So what should we do next? What we can do is, let's verify again. I'm gonna at least remove slowly, not to disturb that actuator or any trim piece there. I'm gonna remove that, and let's move our console. If, what do you call that, if that actuator is moving right now or not. If not, we're gonna check our signals or whatever what we can check. But yeah, and I don't think this is a coolant related issue, or could be, but last time it was working fine, right? What I'm thinking right now, it could be there's some air pockets. I don't know, I'm not sure yet, but let's just double check that actuator for now. Okay, so right now we're on that side there on our glove box. I don't want to remove anything yet, so I'm using my borescope, and we're gonna see if there's some movements there. If, what do you call that, if you can find something there. So I think I'm just gonna adjust this. So our actuator moves, no problem. The question now is if this is our actuator. There's a lever here that moves the shaft. I wonder this part here, this component is moving fully, because I can see it moves a little bit, but I don't know if there's capabilities to move it fully. But I can feel on our vents that it's changing that slight temperature. So what I can do is I'm gonna try on the driver's side and see that motion, if it goes fully on when I change the temperature. So I'll do some experiment first before I'm gonna start taking it apart. And also I'm gonna start also check our coolant, make sure that our hoses there on our heater core that's going in, make sure that it's hot. But it should be all the same, because what I'm thinking right now is they share the same rad or the heater core for cabin. So I'm thinking this one is just an airflow issue. Anyway, I'm gonna go check our driver's side first, and then I'll let you know what I found out there, if it's just the same or there's some difference between our passenger movement and the driver's side, and then we'll decide from there. So I grabbed this brand new GV80 2023 model. As you can see, we got the same data reading here, but as of right now, engine coolant temperature, I've been letting this vehicle sit for a while at 66 degrees engine coolant temp. I can feel the hot air on both vents right now. The driver's side here, passenger side, even though we're still reading at 67 degrees. I'm gonna use our temperature gun here, and it's reading 40 something, right? 40 degrees, 42. Passenger side around 38, 41. So I believe that right now, look at that, even though we're at 69 degrees, evap sensor reads at 5 degrees. Both are what do you call that, blowing some hot air in here in the vents. So I believe that we get some issue there in our coolant flow. That's what I'm thinking right now. Most likely that's the integrated thermal module. Even though we don't have any codes or anything, I wonder if we have code for a coolant performance. So I have to check that on the engine side, even though we're so focused on our AC control unit, right? Even though there's no codes there. So right now, even though like look at that, 72 degrees, it's warm in both vents. So I think, yeah, 49 degrees. This one 46 degrees. Okay, so we're back on this problem car. Right now, engine coolant is 45 degrees. Yeah, and then our position on our air temp, both sides are high, so 93%. So I'm just gonna start this vehicle. Let's put some air there, hot. Okay, that's good. Let me just graph this. Okay, so let's see what's the degrees here. Still at 29, 28 on the other side. It's not that hot. Let's wait for that 65 degrees, because in our brand new car at 65 degrees it was reading at least 40 as per our infrared temp gun. So let's wait. Okay, so we just hit 69 degrees there on our engine coolant temp. Right now, I think the operation of our heater system is working fine. 39 on the passenger, driver's side 46, 46, 42, 43. So I can feel that, you know, they're the same now. That's what I'm feeling right now. And I guess if everything is working, I think we can't really find a fault right now. So I think I'm just gonna go straight to our engine side if we can find a code for it. If not, yeah, I think I'll start with the ITM, integrated thermal module. I've seen a lot of faults already on those cars, especially on the Hyundai side. Let's read fault code. Okay, no codes. So there's no codes on this car. So yeah, I guess I'll update you guys again once I get the part, once I installed it, because right now everything is working, and we seen clearly earlier in my previous days or previous capture last time on the video that it was not working, and we start moving around there, but the car was still idling and starts working, right? So I believe there's a coolant issue on this one, coolant flow issue. That's my assumption. I know you're gonna ask if why only driver's side, they only share the same heater core there. That's the question. I don't know. But I have some G70s with or other, not only G70s, but when I do some coolant service, if it does not bleed properly, most of the time it's the passenger side has no heat because there's still air in the system. I don't know, maybe the position of the heater core is more near on the driver's side. So yeah, I'm just gonna call for the ITM on this one. Hey guys, welcome back. So we have this GV80 with a heating issue. So our part, the ITM, came in. I didn't bother, taking the video, the whole process, because I have another ITM video for a GV70. They have the same engine. The same thing on a GV70 too. The back end of that reservoir for the intercooler, there's no access, so I just use a swivel 10 mm for that, an extension quarter, and also so this is how it sits, like that. I'm just gonna go through on how I remove this guy. So I both remove these two on the corners here, 10 mm. The bottom one, you have no access in there if you're using a 3/8, because as you can see there, this is our serpentine belt and water pump. That's where the bolt is mounted, that guy there. So you don't have really space there, so I use a short quarter 12 mm, and then just loosen it and use a swivel quarter 12. Same thing on the top. So after that, what you're gonna do next is, I don't know why they designed it like this, as if like they don't want they don't want this to be replaced. Anyway, so after that, I took out the hoses here, this guy here, the top one, so that when you remove this, it's out of the way already. And for the positioning of the top hose here, the important thing in this guy here, this guy, as you can see on, there's a connector there. Let's remove that guy. Okay. So this guy here, so you just have to pry it out. Just be careful not to rip the hose. And the position of my clamp is on top, because if you're gonna push this and the clamp is at the bottom, it's gonna hit the throttle body. So there's too much work just to do the ITM if you're gonna remove all this stuff here. So anyway, I'm gonna install our new ITM, do the whole bleeding process and everything, and we'll get back on checking those vents if both sides are good now. So I'm just gonna, you know, share with you guys on how I removed the GV80 ITM. It's the same process on the GV70 3.5. I thought there's gonna be more space because as you can see the GV80 is more bigger than GV70, but I was wrong. It's still the same. I think it's worse than the GV70 because I was thinking when I was removing the bolts at the bottom here, the hose here, I was thinking on my last video that how did I do it, because I was struggling a little bit. So yeah, and I will update you when everything is installed back together and we'll see. Alright guys, so I'm done with the ITM bleeding. So let's just double check this heat right now. We'll see if this will, because sometimes, as I mentioned in all my videos, some Genesis are so hard to bleed the coolant. So I don't feel any heat yet. Let me try to rev it there. So right now I can feel heat now. So as per this driver's side, it's reading around 33, right? This guy here 34. Passenger side around 28, 27. Other side it's reading 26. Yeah, it came down again. So I think there's still air in this system, so I'm gonna keep bleeding it. That's why sometimes I don't trust this scantool that they say that it's complete after the ITM bleed, because right now I just feel the heat coming out from the vents, and now it starts blowing cold air again. So I'm just gonna keep bleeding it and I'll update you guys, and I'll make sure that everything is bleed out, and we'll see from there. Alright guys, so after maybe more than an hour bleeding this car, so far it's good now. So first movement of that blower, it's gonna be loud a little bit, so let's just measure this vent here. That's around 65. Other side around 60 degrees. Other side there 52, 53. This one 53, 47, 49. So yeah, I can feel the heat now, unlike before that, you know, it's trying to, this side will be a little bit off or low. And yeah, I just noticed on this car that when you try to put some gas on it, it will, you know, blow some heat. Anyway, and also if you have those cars, you know, any cars, let's say if it's hard to bleed, maybe try to do an incline, right, or jack up the front, make sure at least help elevate that the toughest portion of that reservoir, right, to help bleed the coolant. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.